Sure. So we've all seen this on TV and in movies. This is where an officer suspects somebody of driving while intoxicated. They pull them over, they're on the side of the road. They're going to ask you to perform a series of tests to try to determine whether you're intoxicated, whether it'd be safe to be driving or not. So in Texas, officers use three basic field sobriety tests. And as a former DWI prosecutor, I can tell you that these tests are designed for you to fail. The first test is going to be the one leg stand. In this test, the officer is going to ask you to lift one of your feet 6 inches off the ground and begin to count. The officer during this test will be watching you for swaying, watching you for losing your balance, watching really everything you do for any signs of intoxication. The second test is the walk and turn. In this test, the officer is going to ask you to imagine a line on the ground, follow that line 9 steps, do a turn, and do 9 steps back. Same thing as the first test. He's looking for swaying. He's looking for you using your hands for balance. He's looking for you taking the wrong amount of steps. The third test is the horizontal gaze nystagmus test, or the HGN. This is where an officer uses a pen and asks you to follow with your eye. The officer is looking for involuntary twitching of your eyeball. If your eye is twitching, he's going to count that as a clue, as a reason why he believes that you're intoxicated. All three of these tests are what called divided attention tests, meaning they're asking you to do one thing physically while also giving you something to do mentally. It's the same as when you initially get pulled over. The first thing the officer is going to do is ask you to pull out your driver's license while simultaneously asking you where you're coming from. The idea here is to give you something to be thinking about while also physically asking you to do something, trying to come up with signs of intoxication, trying to make it appear as though you're confused or stumbling or intoxicated. So a lot of people don't do well on these tests. It's real common, right? Whether it's because of age, nervousness, whether it's an old injury, there's 1,000 reasons why people don't do well on these tests. That being said, it's not the final word of intoxication, and a good lawyer can educate both the judge and a jury about the pitfalls and the problems in what these tests, and why your failure to do well might not necessarily be due to intoxication and might be due to one of many other reasons. So you find yourself in a situation where you've been arrested for DWI, feel free to give us a call. We have a lot of experience handling DWI cases. Again, I used to be a former DWI prosecutor. We've helped hundreds, if not thousands, of people in these kind of cases, these kind of situations. We can certainly help you.